Divine culture, Tao and skill. Throughout Chinese culture is the word Tao. All levels of culture are centered around this Tao, and its interpretation, from the governance of the world down to marriage, funeral, living customs. All of them reflect people's respect for the Tao. For example, as the saying goes, a woman who follows Tao, although it's just a term for a woman. But it's also a clear reflection of the importance of being a Taoist person. The idea of Bottom being a woman also has a woman's way. As the core of Chinese culture, Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism, the concept of Tao. Laozi's Tao Te Ching, which spans 5,000 words. Tao Te Ching is a repetitive discussion of what the Tao really is. Confucius also stated his own ambition in this way. Aspire to the way, follow virtue, follow benevolence, and swim in the arts. So the core of Confucianism is still the Tao. What the Buddhists called Dharma is the same as Tao. That's why monks who've perfected their cultivations are also called attain the Tao or the monk with Tao. Ancient people believed that the Tao controls everything. Therefore, if you want to make a difference, you must follow the Tao of heaven. In traditional Chinese culture, there is also the concept of skill. That is to say, magic, divination, technology, and so on. In fact, it's the modern equivalent of natural science. In ancient China, the art of mathematics was very advanced. In this respect, China used to be far ahead of the rest of the world. The four great inventions are a good example. And that's not all. In ancient China, China was ahead of the world in almost every field of technology. In almost every field of technology, China was far ahead of the rest of the world. Agriculture, astronomy, architecture, handicrafts. Crafts, including casting, textiles, printing, crafts, food, literature, art, education, government, even the military. China has had a thorough understanding of military theory and combat techniques thousands of years ago. Sun Tzu's The Art of War has actually given a comprehensive overview of the principles of combat. Even today, thousands of years later, it's still valid. There's no one else like it. As you know, in the Three Kingdoms era, Kong Ming used formations in war. 8 trigrams formation. It is clear that even the war was already very organized. But the development of trick is not the real mastery. The real brilliance of Chinese culture is that it doesn't just know what it is. It also knows why. It's that it emphasizes the way over the technique. Chinese Orthodox culture has always been contemptuous of the techniques or trick. It's more respectful of Taoist virtues. Techniques are often scorned as strange tricks. Lao Tzu was outspoken in his advocacy of abandonment of skill, abandonment of profit. Ancient China has long regarded those who have studied the Confucian classics. Ancient China has long regarded people with outstanding character and morality as talented individuals. The creators of the four great inventions were not highly regarded or successful figures in Chinese history. Of course, that is not to say that the development of techniques and mathematics was completely ignored. It's just that, compared to Taoism, the techniques are not considered to have deeper connotations. On the contrary, in modern society, celebrities are often people who specialize in a particular skill. For example, stars in the entertainment industry, athletes in the sports world. So why did the ancients emphasize the Tao over the skills? There is a beginning and an end in stuff. If you know the order of things, you're close to the way. This one sentence reveals the secret. In other words, to grasp the Tao, the key is to recognize what is the root of things. What is the branches of things? What is the cause, and what is the result of the cause? The Tao, by its very nature, is all-encompassing and not missing anything. It is the macroscopic, fundamental law of things. And techniques or trick is mainly a kind of limited, narrow range of physical law, usually the laws of the dimension in which we live. Strictly speaking, is also a concrete manifestation of Tao within this specific range. It's part of the Tao. But it's usually manifested in material details. It's basically a direct, visible, and tangible law. So Tao is the essence, techniques or trick is the trivial, Tao is the spirit, skill is the body. If you understand this, you'll realize that in order to solve the fundamental problems of human society, we must start from the moral level. Otherwise, it's like trying to stop a boil by raising the soup, neglecting the essential for the trivial. This is a very important principle, one that the ancients understood very well. It's the essence of Chinese culture. In terms of understanding the human body, life, and the universe, the wisdom of ancient Chinese culture has reached a very profound level. Not only do they have a good grasp of their theories, it can also be expressed and applied in a very condensed and generalized way. For example, the ancient Chinese term 3 talents heaven, earth, and man, it summarizes the fundamental factors of all human endeavors. If you grasp these three elements, you can say that everything is in good hands and you can win. Take Sun Tzu's Art of War as an example. Sun Tzu said, "The war is a matter of state. The place of life and death, the way of survival and demise, cannot be ignored. Therefore, by the 5 things to school with the plan and to find its temper. First, the way. Second, heaven. Third, earth. Fourth, the general. Fifth, the law." It can be seen that the Tao is the first and the technique is ranked second. And heaven, earth, and human factors were also considered in that order. Although modern people also know to study Sun Tzu's Art of War, but they mostly focus on the strategies and tactics of the book. The fundamental and most important idea of Tao has been neglected. It can be said that it is neglecting the fundamentals. The world today is even further from the way, Tao. And many people are obsessed with trivial skills that sacrifice the essentials for the essentials. Those who rule the country do not seek to rule mindset, moral status, but they talk about tribal things such as economy first, stability overrides everything, and so on. In a country where everyone is so eager for quick success and quick profit, how can it be rich, strong, and stable when its officials are corrupt and dishonest? A gentleman is a man of fundamentals. No matter how advanced science and technology are, they can't solve the fundamental problems of mankind. The only way for mankind to have a better life is to cultivate virtue in the world.